No, I lost the video.
Rubbery Scorpion King, Uncanny Valley Cats, this dancing Star Wars alien, creepy Twilight baby, cartoony looking car crash, and Samuel L. Jackson.
I miss it, Scorpion King movie
have in common? They've now become infamous
because I really
for
wanted
visual
to
effects and
poop.
CGI. But have you
That's
ever
why
really
I
thought
skip
about
it
why?
my cinema.
In this video, let's revisit some classics to analyze why these moments didn't exactly hold up. We'll break them down, find the mistakes, and by the end of it all, maybe further understand what makes CGI bad. First, let's start with Rubbery Scorpion King. In a franchise known for the clever integration of live action and CGI, it's crazy that in the final act of the sequel, after building up the character so much for the entire movie, we ended up with one of the most clowned on moments of cinematic history. So how did this even happen? Well, since this was The Rock's very first acting gig, he still had commitments as a wrestler, and with so
was
much
his
to do in
first
the movie,
acting?
the man didn't have time to provide his facial
Course has
skills to
begun
visual
from this
effects
movie?
artists, which is usually the bare minimum you need to create realistic CG characters. Without this reference, they kinda had to eyeball his likeness, which might have worked if he wasn't a main character, seen up close in all sorts of lighting conditions. Now let's do a side-by-side of this Scorpion King with the real Rock. Right away, you can tell what went wrong. His eyes bulge out too much, his nose is too lifted, and his teeth have no shadowing. Little things like this build up an overall image of the Scorpion King that feels just uncanny enough to not quite work. Now, it might seem a bit unfair to judge the CGI of 2001, especially now that The Rock has been playing himself for the past 20 years. We all know his face so well by now that, of course, looking back, the Scorpion King looks funky. Through a lack of reference material and limited resources for the time, we got an unbelievable character in an otherwise believable movie. No! Except for that part. Now let's travel to a galaxy far, far away and meet the sexy singer, Cy Snootles. Oh, she can get it. Oh, wait, she? It? 20 years after George Lucas made the original trilogy, he had the weird idea to use updated technology to create special editions, with changing plot points, inserting all new shots, and in most cases, adding in aliens that were completely unnecessary. Now, in the vastness of space, aliens can look like anything, and of course, everything is subjective. But the design of Cy Snootles
They look
is
shitty even in the
on
first movie.
so many levels, tonally inconsistent and visually jarring. Aside from the ridiculous name, the gangly limbs, and a mouth that's a little too R-rated for Star Wars. Yo, put that away, girl, my family's here. Another reason this character stood out was the animation. Surrounded by live-action actors, dancing in ways our eyes are used to seeing, every tiny hop and hip shake is a little too Looney Tunes for reality. By making these
Now we
singing
have
aliens
this physics
completely
for Booba in
computer-generated,
games.
it broke the immersion of the scene, and Lucas lost the grittiness of the seedy underbelly that's supposed to be Jabba's palace. A place meant to be dangerous and mysterious ended up feeling ridiculous because of the slapstick animation. Now, to fix this, they could have used puppets and, oh, what's that? They did in the first place? Ugh. Sure, it's a little janky, but so were all the other creatures in the room, and we love them for that. It's a message Disney has finally heard, since they seem to be going back to good old miniatures and puppets with the newer shows and movies. And if they're gonna keep shoving Star Wars down our throats, at least the aliens will be fun to look at. And now we gotta talk about Deep Blue Sea. And for a movie that lasted a whole 1 hour and 45 minutes, people only remember this part.
We're gonna seal off this.
I can't imagine how the director, the crew, and the actors all thought this scene would go. From everyone's reactions, you'd think it was supposed to be serious, like scary or something, but the hilarious swap of Sam Jackson's determined expression to